Rick Bolger, Plast-O-Matic valves, here today to talk about the BSDA, which is a air-operated diaphragm shutoff valve. Now, when most of us think of a diaphragm valve, we think of something like this. This is from our Basics product line. This is a typical Weir-style diaphragm valve. You can throttle flow by adjusting this hand wheel. Very familiar valve. This is a little bit less familiar. This uses compressed air to control a piston and diaphragm to allow flow in a chemical piping system or an ultra-pure piping system. The nice thing about this versus a regular Weir-style diaphragm valve is you have very positive shutoff. It's designed in such a way that when the air pressure, the solenoid valve, the air solenoid valve controls the air pressure going into this thing, it shuts off bubble tight and does not leak. It's instantaneous, open and closed. As you can see, it's small, it's lightweight, and it can be mounted in basically any direction, any position in a piping system, as long as you pay attention to the flow direction that's on the valve. In other words, your inlet, your outlet. It can handle inlet pressures to 100 psi and outlet pressure up to max of 25 psi. Now, what makes this thing work is we have this is the air head. You're attaching your compressed air to that connection right there, and it sends air under this piston here, the top of this piston. It sends air into this gap and lifts the diaphragm, which is this PTFE diaphragm. It lifts it off the orifice and allows flow. When you shut the air off, this spring, isolated from the liquid, immediately closes the valve. Again, with 100 psi inlet pressure max, 25 psi back pressure max. Again, the spring is isolated from the liquid, so it's not going to be subject to chemical attack, and it won't impart impurities into an ultra-pure liquid flow. Also, the rubber parts, we have some rubber behind the diaphragm to make it flexible. We have a primary O-ring seal here and a air piston seal here, which is a U-cup. U-cup looks like that. We focus there? Did I get that? Okay. And those are also isolated from the liquid in the system. The most important thing about the valve to remember: no wetted metals or elastomers. They're isolated completely from the liquid. The only wetted materials are the PTFE diaphragm and the valve body material. So if you have any kind of harsh chemical system or something that really needs to be protected, say kidney dialysis systems, a lot of them use these. These are also used in manufacturing paint and varnishes because they can't have impurities in those systems. Air operated, ideal for areas where you have hazardous areas with some combustibility issues. And the compact size, we like these things on skids, any kind of chemical dispensing system that might be on a skid, anything like that, where you need small space, harsh environment, harsh or ultra-pure liquids. Okay, so the nice thing about this valve is like I said, it won't impart impurities into an ultra-pure liquid, and it won't be attacked by chemical because of the PTFE diaphragm. PTFE is polytetrafluoroethylene. It's a fluoropolymer. Best known brand is Teflon. We used to call this Teflon when we had a license to do that, but they very closely protect that trademark. So we can't call it Teflon, but that's what it is. You notice as that. The nice thing about this valve is in most cases, PVC does the job. Typical liquids, this is going to be chemical resistant to most anything you're processing. But if you get a little more advanced, you can get into your polypropylenes, PVDF, and even PTFE for your real super nasty liquids or super pure liquids. The connections on this valve standard are NPT threads. It's also available with sockets, with spigots, with metric connections, BSP. Some of those are special orders, so just check with us if you need something like that. We can also get into some custom applications with it. These are some variations on the same valve. It's really good for systems where you're injecting a liquid or periodically dispensing liquids, something like that. This valve started in the laundry industry with perchloroethylene, real nasty stuff, and it was in the dispensing systems, the dry cleaners and places like that. Today we find it in laboratories, battery filling, anything that involves a nasty liquid that has to be periodically sent down a pipeline, or an ultra-pure liquid. We even have these things in semiconductor fabs. So it's a real excellent valve when you have a compressed air system and you can operate it with using compressed air. And good choice in place of a ball valve when you need on-off control. Series BSDA pipe sizes are 1/4 inch, which is this little one here, through 1.5 inches, which is this big baby. And I neglected to mention, but I will do it now, that this valve also features our patented fail dry advanced safety vent. The two seals here, the two different seals between the diaphragm and the piston ring seal. Between here we have a vent where if the diaphragm should fail, you're going to get a little weep out the side of the valve, and this secondary seal continues to hold liquid under pressure. So you can operate the valve until maintenance can be scheduled conveniently. That's the patented fail dry system, and that's standard on any BSDA. Tested in laboratory conditions with water to over 1 million cycles, and we know that we have that kind of success out in the field. So again, if you're using something to control flow, on-off, air operated, check with our tech team, check our website, series BSDA. Thank you.